and welcome back to another fave horror movie video based on Amazon Prime videos. Lots of videos. Today's list is based on my favourite type of horror movies, zombies. Now, like I said in my previous Amazon Prime video, there are a lot of horror movies on Amazon Prime, and since we are only just kind of coming out of this pandemic, zombie movies are everywhere, which I'm not complaining about, but these are some of my absolute favourites. But before we get into the video, I just want to shout out into the AM who sent me a bunch of really cool t-shirt designs, and you can get some too if you use my link down in the description below. It is really pretty. They've got some really cool artwork on there as well as some really creepy ones, so it's right up my alley. It's cute, it's creepy, it's epic, and if you want some, use my code KREA for 10% off your order. First off, we have Dawn of the Dead. Now, before you start coming at me and being like, hang on Kirsten, you put that in one of your other videos, well, this is not only just on Amazon Prime instead of Netflix, but this is the original and it's an extended cut. And the original is just way campier and for some reason, in my eyes, just way gorier. And with it being an extended cut, we get a whole bunch of extra zombie goodness. Just like the remake, the original is about a group of survivors who take refuge from a zombie apocalypse in a shopping mall, although there are a lot less of them, but they're a lot more likeable than some of the characters in the remake. And there are a lot more zombies, biker gangs, and gore. If you enjoyed the remake, then go back and watch the original. I promise you'll really enjoy it. And if you have seen the original, then go and watch the extended cut on Amazon Prime, because who doesn't want extra zombie content in their face? Next is a zombie movie that really shakes up the genre by having the zombie virus spread through words. Pontypool is a movie that you may not have even heard of. And it's one that I actually came across after a day of just binging new horror movies that I thought looked interesting. And this one is now one of my favourites and an absolute hidden gem. Pontypool is about a radio presenter called Grant who, along with his assistant and a few other people, have to hold themselves up in a radio station and barricade themselves in his recording room when a pandemic breaks out. Now, what's interesting is that the entire movie takes place from within the radio station. You never actually go outside and see what's going on. The only way that we know what's going on in this zombie apocalypse is through the same way that the characters do, which is through radio broadcasts as well as phone calls to the station from people trying to survive the virus. And Grant not only has to try not to succumb to the virus himself, but has to try and figure out how to cure it. If you want to see a zombie movie that's a little bit campy, but also it just really changes up the zombie trope, then Pontypool is really one you should watch. The next up is a zombie horror comedy, which is an absolute classic. So if you haven't seen it, then you have really been missing out. That's right, I'm talking about Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead was very obviously inspired by one of the best zombie movies of all time, the original George Romero, Dawn of the Dead. But this movie takes place in Britain and stars Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and was directed by Edgar Wright, who was not only inspired by Dawn of the Dead but got the idea to film a zombie movie while they were filming their series Spaced. And if you're a fan of the show Spaced, then you'll know the exact episode I'm talking about. Shaun and Ed have to fight off hordes of zombies as they try to protect their friends and family while they head to the safest place that they can think to hide, the Winchester, a pub that they frequent pretty much every single night. Honestly, this comedy is just as good as the movie it's based on, with the added bonus of having some incredible laughs, really funny characters, and really good gore. Shaun and his crew act exactly how I think any Brit would in a zombie apocalypse, and I think that's what makes it so incredibly funny. And lastly, another horror comedy, Zombieland. With pretty much an all-star cast with Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin, this comedy takes place in America, following a geeky college student as he tries to survive a zombie apocalypse and accrue a team along the way. It has a great way of adding some fourth wall breaks with a commentary of rules that you need to follow if you're going to survive a zombie apocalypse. Emma Stone is her usual funny self, and the whole crew together have really great chemistry. You'll be so happy they made a second one. And there you are, just a few of my personal favourite zombie movies that you can go and watch on Amazon Prime right now. And if you want to watch an original or a sequel to any of the movies I mentioned on this list, then you can rent them on Amazon Prime for only a couple of pounds. If there are any other streaming sites that you want me to go through and tell you my favourite movies that are on there, then please let me know down in the comments and I'll check them out. I have a few other videos like this on the way, such as watching the worst rated horror movies on Netflix and Amazon Prime, as well as reviewing some of the best and worst video game horror movies. If you want to know when they go up, then make sure you subscribe and hit the little notification so that you are notified when that video goes up. Remember that you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter for all of the cosplay and news and everything like that. And if you do want to support my video and cosplays and stuff, then please check out my Patreon. Thank you guys all so much for watching, but for now I'll have to bid thee farewell and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!